from the News Channel 5 network. This is Urban Outlook.
Hello and welcome to Urban Outlook. I'm April Eaton. Thank you so much for being with us today. In writings by University of Virginia professor Talitha LaFloria, Chained in Silence, Black Women in Convict Labor in the New South, the author says that Black women have experienced extreme rates of arrest, conviction, and incarceration in prisons across America, in fact, and that this is not a new issue. It existed for at least 150 years, from the times post-slavery to today. In fact, the NAACP says that Black Americans are incarcerated at more than 5 times the rate of white Americans. To talk to us about this topic and some solutions behind the issues that we are seeing, the disparities in the criminal justice system, is Khadija Babb. She is the NAACP Criminal Justice Chair, and she is also an Assistant District Attorney for the Davidson County Juvenile Court System. Thank you so much for being with us, Ms. Babb.
April, thank you for having me today.
As I said, you know, the numbers are telling, and I can recall when we talked about the injustices in the justice system, we often look at the number of Black men behind bars, and we see this shocking statistic that shows the number of African American men in jail outnumbers the number of Black men in college campuses and in college and on college campuses. But we've never had the conversation about Black women in prison. Talk a little bit about what those numbers look like, what the problem is when we talk about women who are being incarcerated at these extreme rates.
So as far as Black women being incarcerated, the numbers are not as nearly as staggering as it is for Black men versus white men or non-Black men. As far as Black women, according to the Sentencing Project that they released a report here recently, they're 2 times more likely to be arrested and convicted than white women. I think a large part of the issue as far as the numbers as it relates to Black women being incarcerated, there has been so much data and energy and research poured into Black men, because obviously that is a staggering number. But I think sometimes we forget about how Black women have been incarcerated and how that affects Black families in general. So I appreciate you covering this topic, because I feel like Black women are usually not talked about when it comes to incarceration, kind of put to the wayside. And Black women tend to be the pillars of the Black community. So it's important that we cover this topic and understand how it affects our community on a local level and nationally.
When you look at it, I know you're right about the fact that the numbers are not as great. That's because we make up smaller numbers of the population. I think 13% of the population is African American Black women. 30% though of women in prison have that. The population of women in prison rather is 30%, and 44% of women in jail. I'm not sure about the disparity between prison and jail, except maybe one is the local level and one is some of the federal penitentiaries. But those numbers still, while smaller than men, are still significant. So why is it that there has been, and to your point, you know, this lack of conversation around the number of women impacted by the justice system?
I think that a large percentage, it's just been that people have been focused on the Black men for so long. And a lot of times, in general, Black women tend to be forgot about in a lot of things across the board. I think that also Black women tend to be incarcerated. A large portion is because, you know, of drug offenses. And a lot of times that also relates back to being charged with Black men. I think that there is a lack of discussion around this, because you tend to have more Black women in college. So they see more successful Black women. So people don't understand the numbers are as significant. In general, we just do not discuss Black women and have their incarceration rates in general. There's not a lot of data. There's this specific study that you have, but they've just been thrown to the wayside as far as the amount of research that we need when it comes to discussing Black women being incarcerated.
It's also interesting how you say sometimes those charges are tied up with incidences that are happening around them. The drug charges, for instance, maybe it's not them involved deliberately in the drug trade per se, but they are with men who may be also doing those kinds of things. And it seems like it's sort of a blanket statement, one for all. One is charged, all are charged, even, if you just have a relationship with a person. Are you finding that that's some of the situations that Black women find themselves in?
Most definitely. I think a large part of the issue is that Black women tend to be in relationships with men who are participating in the drug trade or participating in illegal activity. And a lot of times you'll see that Black women are pressed if they are charged with a co-defendant who's a man who they're in a relationship with, or maybe even be a familiar relationship. Sometimes they can be charged to kind of put pressure on the man to go ahead and, plead guilty or accept the activities that they've been involved in. I'm not sure if you have heard of Keita Haynes, but she was a former public defender, and I think she found herself in a similar situation. She was convicted and charged federally for a drug conviction, and it was largely based because she was in a relationship with a guy, and she signed for a package, and that was enough for her to be charged and convicted federally for a drug charge. And now Keita has gone on to do great things, but that's kind of the typical one of the major ways that women tend to find themselves, especially when it comes to longer sentencing, is when you're talking about drug conspiracy charges and things like that.
And let's talk about that, because historically we've often had these conversations around the disparity of the prison sentences. Once folks go through the system, go through the system, and then get convicted and charged, that we find African Americans in general seem to serve time at greater proportions and greater levels than their white counterparts. Is that still an issue in today's society and today's justice system?
I think 100% is still an issue. I know that there has been some criminal justice reform around sentencing. For instance, here in Davidson County, my boss, General Funk, will not allow people to be on probation after a certain amount of time. We're trying to cut back on people's amount of supervision and incarceration. And we're trying to focus incarceration on the really, really violent crimes, because although, drug activity can lead to violent situations in communities, for the most part, if someone is charged with a nonviolent crime, they shouldn't have to spend half of their life in jail, incarcerated, because then that leads to more poverty in the community and more issues in the community, especially the Black community.
You also talk about the impact of women in prison and incarcerated women on families, especially as sometimes the dominant key player in families. We talk about single family homes and the role that women play in their families. When so many women are finding themselves in situations and then end up behind bars, what's the impact on that family?
It's humongous. So when women find themselves incarcerated, then what happens to their children, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes you may have a family member that is able to step up and care for them, and it's usually an elder grandmother who tries to step in. When you don't have that family support, then we have more children that end up in DCS custody for dependency and neglect, because they're already in a single parent home and now they have found themselves in the foster system. And it happens more often than not that we find that we don't have the familiar support system when a woman is incarcerated, unless a grandmother is willing to step up. And a lot of times maybe that mother that is incarcerated doesn't have the best ties with her family due to some of the criminal activity that she's been in. And maybe they feel like, I told you so. And they're not willing to take the youth in. Or the youth, because they already have experience with a parent being incarcerated and being in a single parent household, they may be unruly. They may have issues or therapy or things that come along with taking that child in. And some family members may not be willing to take that on.
Khadija, you know, there's the flip side of all of this, right? While these disparities exist, while there may be unfairness in the justice system when it comes to Black Americans, in particular women of colors, that you know, you do the crime and you have to do the time. So when you think about that, if you do wrong, you've got to face those penalties for doing wrong. What goes through your mind when folks take that flip side of this situation?
Well, there is no question that if you do the crime, then you definitely should do the time. I think that for nonviolent offenses that we shouldn't be seeing people that are in jail for 10 to 15 years. And also, there is a community debt that comes along with that. Many of the people who are incarcerated, over 70%, are going to come back into our community. Mm-hmm. And the question is, how do we want them to come back to the community? Do we want them to be rehabilitated, or do we want to put them in a situation where they still can't find employment, where they can't get housing, and now they have to resort right back to the criminal activity that put them that incarcerated them in the first place? Yeah. So that's the question. That's the understanding that, like, yes, if you do the crime, you have to do the time, but these people are coming back to our community. So what are we going to do for them in order to make them feel a part of the community and feel like they should not commit crimes in the community that they belong to?
Let's take a quick break. And when we come back, I want to talk about some of the solutions to this problem, programs that you're aware of, things that people can do, what families can do. We'll be right back after this. Stay with us.